welcome to Season 2 of On The Spot. At On The Spot, we discuss the issues. I am at the closing ceremony of a 2-week-long Media and Sustainable Development Africa program, which has brought together media experts from across Africa. Now, this event is organized by the Egyptian Agency of Partnership for Development, an organization that is aimed at contributing to the socio-economic development of African countries through the transfer and exchange of knowledge, skills and expertise. Well, from the heart of Cairo, Egypt, welcome to On The Spot with me, Stella.
Right in the heart of Cairo, this is one of the oldest cities, and as you can see, the buildings are quite ancient.
You can come in the evening.
Okay.
See the light, but alone. This is stuffed up.
Stuffed up. Yeah, all right.
Name is stuffed up.
right, well, today on the program, of course, of On the Spot with me, Stella Bandura, I have the ambassador himself, Ambassador Hashim Azran, who is the Deputy Secretary General of the Egyptian Agency of Partnership for Development. Welcome, sir. It's
Thank
great
you.
to have you here on the spot.
It's a pleasure having you here in Egypt, actually.
I know, it's really amazing. It's a beautiful country, I must say. It's been beautiful, breathtaking.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So before we jump into the conversation, I just
Yes.
want you to tell us a little bit about yourself and how you started out and got, working with the agency.
Before joining the agency, I was Deputy Assistant Minister for West African states. And then I joined the agency. The agency itself was established 5 years ago with the main target of building capacity for African countries. The agency is arranging training courses in so many fields, including agriculture, irrigation, industry, diplomacy, trade, power plants, everything I can say. We don't have any exceptions. Even capacity building for women in rural areas, and health, everything, and security, of course. We train some police officers from all African countries. The main target is to help African countries to build their capacities in everything, all fields. Within these 5 years, I can say we have trained more than 10,000 African trainee, all these fields. Also, we have another thing we do that we build and we support what you can say health centers. We provide equipment for hospitals, more than 30 centers in Africa, actually. And also, we, in case of disasters that might happen, earthquakes, floods, things like that in Africa, at once we send some support assistance for those people in those countries, and this is mainly what we are doing, besides other things here.
Okay, so what necessitated the need for the formation of the agency? What brought about, the formation of the agency? Why was it formed? How did it come about?
Okay, it was formed mainly, as I said, to help African countries to depend on African people. As you may know, for so many decades, we've been in Africa depending on others. But if we have the ability to solve our problems, why don't we do that? We have to have African solutions for African problems. This was the target. And if we have something we can give to others, because Egypt, of course, it's an African country. Why don't we do so? We can help in so many areas. You've seen during these last weeks, so many things in Egypt, so many projects. And these are, we can say, samples of what the Egyptians have done. Which means we have that if any African country, they need us, we are always available. We can support by all means they need, unconditionally, of course. The main target is that Africa has the right to stand on the top of other countries. We have the resources, we have the ability, so we must take the decision.
Now, Egypt has come a very long way. Of course, Egypt is fondly called the cradle of civilization. And post-revolution, we've seen a lot of transformation. And being here, I've seen some really
amazing projects that are quite shocking to be found in Africa.
As of September 2019, Cairo has just 3 metro lines and is frequently cited as one of the world's most congested cities. Overwhelmed by the deep-rooted challenges affecting this vast urban area, the Egyptian government are now investing $58 billion in constructing the country's entire capital again from scratch.
How did Egypt get to this point where, it's able to undertake such massive projects? And the amazing part is it's Egyptians themselves who are undertaking, funding, and carrying out these projects.
You have to trust yourselves, first of all. If you trust yourselves, you can do anything. Another issue, you have to fight and eradicate corruption. If you are sure no one now is corrupted, then we can trust each other in our country. We can start work hand in hand, shoulder by shoulder, and do whatever we need. This is very important to create the hope inside the people. This is the first step. If they have the hope and they have the trust, they can do anything.
So now,
without asking for profit or something like that, we are doing something for our country, for ourselves, for our new generations. This is very important. And I cannot say we are doing a miracle. No. Others can do the same. And if they need our experience, we are ready to give this experience.
I want to know how Egypt have done it, because back home here in Sierra Leone, we have a new government who's waged a war on corruption. And we even see, currently we have ongoing commissions of inquiry looking into past administrations' work. How do we go about tackling it without bringing any form of destabilization within the country, or bringing in the feeling of witch hunt or political antagonization? If that's
through the judiciary system. If someone was caught corrupted, he has to stand before the court and he has the right to defend himself. And finally, the judge will say whether this person is corrupted or not. And if he is corrupted, he has to pay every penny that he has taken. This is very important. With this money and with the trust of people, you can start build your country. First of all, people should decide what do they need. What are their problems? If they decide the needs, then they will decide the solution, they will have the plan, and they will start working seriously to solve the problem. At this moment, everybody outside that country, whatever the country is, will be willing to help because they trust that these people are serious and these people will do something.
Now, one thing I found very profound in Egypt is this huge sense of nationalism and patriotism and love for the country. It's so overwhelming. Unfortunately, in Sierra Leone, we're struggling with it, where the country is so polarized, and we've gotten to a point where people pay more allegiance to the political parties than to the state or the country in itself. How do we manage this as a country? How do we get to that point that Egypt has gotten to?
There is a base that all political parties should agree on it. Then the differences should be on the way of solving problems, not more than that. But also the unity of the people is very important. Let me say something. It's in Egypt. We don't have what you may say tribes. It's like a piece of clothes. We don't have tribes. You may find even someone lives in Cairo. He comes from another city, and his wife comes from far there, and the family lives here and there. All the community is connected. You cannot divide the community. We don't have tribes. And if you walk on the street, you cannot differentiate between Egyptians. This is belonging to family or what. No, it's all in one. It's very important. And we have agreed that it's time to build our country. It's time to save ourselves. So when we do something, we don't do that asking for money or for profit. Okay, we are going to exert our utmost effort. We don't ask for revenues or reward for that. It's for us all, for our children, so we have to do it. You have seen our new administrative capital.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know that we are also in a process of building almost 40 new cities in Egypt?
Wow.
Yeah. This administrative capital you've seen, okay, will help solving some problems of crowded in Cairo and so. But along Egypt, we do so. We started also to build houses for those very, very poor people who used to live in unhealthy houses or places. Okay. People donated money, worked voluntarily, and we are building very modern houses for them. Each poor family, they got new apartment, fully furnished, with all other equipments like the washing machines, the stove, the fridge. It's I cannot say it's funded by the government itself, but people give money to support. Yeah. The plan was made by the government. I cannot deny that. But people are supporting themselves by themselves. So our target is, by end of this year, we hope that we'll not have any undeveloped house or something like that.
Okay. Well, continue to stay with me. Of course, I have here Ambassador Hisham Asran, who is the Deputy Secretary General of the Egyptian Agency of Partnership for Development. This is On the Spot. We'll be back.
Domestic revenue mobilization is a key instrument for the government of Sierra Leone in reducing poverty, increasing financial independence, achieving middle-income status, and charting the path for new directions. From supporting the free quality education, good roads, healthcare, electricity, and more.
Domestic revenue mobilization is very critical when it comes to national development.
Through the Asikoda World, we have developed beautiful management tools We have also developed systems in which it will bring transparency and help to the importer, to the broker.
iTax is a platform for all your domestic taxes. The electronic cash register system is the game changer.
Let's support government by paying our taxes. For more information, visit the nearest NRA office or log on to our website www.nra.gov.sl.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Abu. I am calling for your rental tax payment.
Oh my goodness.
Hello? This is a call from the...
Your colleague is on the other line. Can you just please hold?
You know a landlord or property agent? You don't hear about rental income tax? As property owner or agent where they collect rent, the law say you for pay tax and are you tax identification number where they call team you they use for pay am.
Yes, me fumble them. The law say without this tax identification number, you not go able to pay your tax. And if you not pay your tax, the law go bet you tranga one. Welcome, sir. Please sit.
Thank you.
We don't make them easy for you now. The law say, since you the collect rent we pass 7.2 million leons, you for come to NIA and pay your rental tax just after where your tenants don't pay you done.
So no more calls from everywhere.
You go just get one SMS or one phone call. We go remind you, sir.
Thank you very much.
For no more, go to any NIA office near you or visit www.nia.gov.sl.
Remember, paying taxes is required by law.
All right, welcome back. Of course, this is On the Spot with me, Stella Bandura, and I'm still here with the ambassador himself, Ambassador Hisham Asran, who is the Deputy Secretary General of the Egyptian Agency of Partnership for Development. Welcome back, of course. So now let's move on now to the African stage. We know that His Excellency Abdul Fattah Sisi now is the chair of the Africa Union. Now, for a while, people have questioned, the African Union in terms of the role it's playing in Africa, how strong a union or organization it is when it comes to African issues. Now he's the chair. What sort of role do we expect or reforms within the AU?
First of all, let me say, what do we need in Africa is to develop our countries. Developing countries or building countries depends on stability, peace, and security. To develop a community, this community should be living in peace. What we have now in Africa is that we have some troubles. These troubles are not a result of war between African states or African countries. No, it's war against terrorism. So, if we eradicate terrorism from our countries, then we have the stability. If we have the stability, we can build our country. We can start having development projects. First of all, what sort of projects do we need to develop ourselves, our people in villages and cities, whatever? The infrastructure. Sanitary, water, electricity, roads. This is what we need. This is the base. When we have the base, then we can start have the second phase of development. We can have a factory of so and so here, another factory there, things like that. Because if you want to have factories, if you want to develop your industry, you need electricity. To have electricity, there are so many sources you can use, and it doesn't cost a lot now these days. So we can start develop our agriculture products, our food industry, and we can start make our clothes, everything. We can lift up the standard of living of the people. We can develop our health sector and the education sector also. This what we need. These are the plans that our president is working on as the chairperson of the African Union, actually. This is the main target. And also, we don't need to import solutions. So we have to have our African solutions. For example, if I have an expert in sector A in, let's say, in Côte d'Ivoire, I need an expert in that. I'm not going to ask someone from Western countries or China or whatever to come and help me. I'm going to get it from African countries. You know, we have also a governmental decision that anything we need to import, if we have that, any item, if we have that item in Africa, we should get it from Africa, not from any other countries. And by the way, in very recent days, last days, the free trade agreement of Africa was signed already, and it needs some, you can say, other agreements to start with, but it's a very good step. We will have free trade movement between ourselves. Then I can get something from Sierra Leone that I need. I can give Sierra Leone something they need. I have it. Yeah, this would also help to consolidate the relations between Africans. Let me say something. We, you know, so many countries, they have tribes. But if the state itself can give any person so many things that the tribe cannot provide him with it, then his loyalty will be to the state, to his country, and finally to Africa. We have to be proud of ourselves. We have to trust ourselves. Yeah, we shouldn't allow others to penetrate us, to create rifts among us. This is very important. We have to trust ourselves. We are in a process of building so. As Africans, I'm talking as an African citizen, not even as an Egyptian or an official or an ambassador. No, no, I can see that myself in so many places. It's quite good sign. We have the willing. At least, really, we have the will. We'll do that.
Absolutely. So now, let me now jump down to Egypt.
Yes.
Egypt and its relation with its sisterly African countries, and honing in particularly to Sierra Leone. Of course, a lot of the support that we get is from the Chinese and you know, whatever country is willing to support. But coming to Egypt, I see that Egypt can actually play that role the Chinese is playing both on the African stage and also in Sierra Leone. How can we get Egypt coming out, breaking it to Sierra Leone? How can we get Egypt to play that role in Sierra Leone?
You have to inform us of what you need. Let me say something that Egyptians are doing, Egypt is doing. We are developing seaports, developing airports. We are building factories in Africa, houses for people. But these countries should ask us, we need to do so and so. Okay, we are ready, we have our companies that they are working there. And also, we need the African people, African companies to come and work on Egypt, also in Egypt. It should be partnership relation. It is, if we do that, it is a win-win game. Perhaps some countries ask for Chinese companies, as you said, to come and do so and so, build some villas or something, which is something very simple. If they ask Egypt or other African countries have the capability to do so, they will do so. And when it comes to Africa, we don't look for, Egyptian firms and companies, they don't look for profit. It's not the main target, by the way.
Okay. So, how has Egypt been able? I see that there's a huge skilled force. The human capital here is so strong.
Training centers.
How did Egypt achieve it?
It's training centers. We long ago we start to have some schools for technicians, governmental schools, and also in the recent years, some factories start to have their own training centers. If someone graduates from the schools, these schools, he can and he wants to join the factory, he has to spend a year or two in a training center belongs to the factory, and then work. They guarantee that he's going to work in that factory. It's all of business to support community, to create jobs. But to create jobs, you can create jobs in their business. They need to train people. They have these training centers, either small or medium or large. These are being done. So if we have training centers, I mean vocational training centers, this will help. It's very important. In all the countries, all the school graduates shouldn't join university. Someone should work as technicians. Not all of them are going to be doctors, accountants, or something like, or lawyers. No, we need the labor, skilled labor. They can do that if they have a training center for these skills.
It's been very amazing with you, Ambassador. Of course, this is on the spot. I have with me Ambassador Hisham Asrin, who is the Deputy Secretary General of the Egyptian Agency of Partnership for Development. This is on the spot. Well, here is a quick video of the week. And of course, my guests, I'm sure you know what the video is going to be about. It's about Egypt. So hope you enjoy. This is beautiful Egypt. Welcome back. Of course, this is On the Spot, and that has been the video of the week. Egypt is not only a beautiful place, but it is like I mentioned before, the cradle of civilization. I mean, of course, you've seen for yourself how amazing and beautiful the country is. But Ambassador, what would you like to tell? What would you like to tell Sierra Leoneans who are watching us right now?
If you please, I can say something to people of Sierra Leone, if you don't mind. Let me tell people of Sierra Leone that Egypt is welcoming the Sierra Leone people with open arms, always. Please, come and visit Egypt. Come and know something about Egypt. Also, I invite business people in Sierra Leone to contact their counterparts in Egypt to see what do they have, what do they can give to the Egyptians, what kind of commodities they can export to Egypt, and also if they need something from Egypt, they can get it from Egypt. We are brothers. We have to work together as brothers, not even as partners. And let me say something to the people of Sierra Leone. Egypt is here and will be here forever for their brothers in Sierra Leone.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. It's so great having you here.
Thank you.
And like I've heard over and over again, Egypt is my second home, and I'm so proud to say that. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you very much.
Ambassador.
This is On the Spot with me, Stella Bangura. We'll be taking a quick break, and when we do come back, we'll be having a quick word with the ambassador himself, who happens to be the Secretary General of the Egyptian Agency of Partnership for Development, Ambassador Ahmed Shaheen.
Domestic revenue mobilization is a key instrument for the government of Sierra Leone in reducing poverty, increasing financial independence, achieving middle income status, and charting the path for new directions. From supporting the free quality education, good roads, healthcare, electricity, and more.
Domestic revenue mobilization is very critical when it comes to national development.
Through the Asikoda World, we have developed beautiful management tools. We have also developed systems in which it will bring transparency and help to the importer, to the broker.
iTax is a platform for all your domestic taxes. The electronic cash register system is the game changer.
Let's support government by paying our taxes. For more information, visit the nearest NRA office or log on to our website www.nra.gov.sl.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Abu. I am calling for your rental tax payment.
Oh my goodness.
Hello? This is a call from the...
Your colleague is on the other line. Can you just please hold?
You know a landlord or property agent? You don't hear about rental income tax? As property owner or agent where they collect rent, the law say you for pay tax and you tax identification number where they call team you they use for pay them.
Yes, me fumble them. The law say without this tax identification number, you not go able to pay your tax. And if you not pay your tax, the law go bet you tranga one. Welcome, sir. Please sit.
Thank you.
We don't make them easy for you now. The law say, since you the collect rent we pass 7.2 million leons, you for come to NIA and pay your rental tax just after we your tenants don't pay you done.
So no more calls from everywhere.
You go just get one SMS or one phone call. We go remind you, sir.
Thank you very much.
For no more, go to any NIA office near you or visit www.nia.gov.sl.
Remember, paying taxes is required by law.
Welcome back to On the Spot with me, Stella Bangura. I am still in the heart of Cairo in Egypt, and this is the Media and Sustainable Development event or program happening in Cairo, organized by the Egyptian Agency
of Partnership for Development. Now, of course, I have here with me the Secretary General himself, Ambassador Ahmed Shaheen.
Yes.
I got that right. Shaheen.
Yeah.
It took a bit of while to get
Sure.
Ambassador, thanks so much for joining me here on the spot. I want to talk a little bit about the agency. Take us through briefly on the agency and what work it hopes to fulfill in Africa.
Sure. First of all, I would thank you very much for taking part in this program. This is a very special program where we ask selected elite media personnel from all over Africa to come and stay with us for 2 weeks, and with all this very intensive program. So thank you very much for taking part of it. The Egyptian Agency of Partnership for Development was launched in 2014 by President Sisi to support African countries achieve their sustainable development goals. We have 4 pillars of activities. First of all is capacity building training programs. We organize around 70 training courses for about 2,000 to 2,500 African participants in about all fields of development, irrigation, agriculture, tourism, all different infrastructure, electricity, renewable energy, and diplomatic studies, along with security courses. So it's quite a very intensive program. In the last 5 years, we trained more than 10,000 participants from Africa. The second pillar is dispatching experts. We have dispatched more than 60 experts, Egyptian experts, to more than 20 African countries. The third pillar is providing humanitarian assistance in the form of supply of medical equipment to hospitals, emergency aid in case of disasters, and so on. The fourth pillar is supporting the private sector and economic integration between Egypt and African countries. So this is in a nutshell what the EAPD is doing.
So clearly it shows that there is a desire from Egypt to have more integration with Africa, and above all to see a better progressive Africa. Why this urge and why this need?
Well, it's very natural kind of thinking. I mean, Egypt is an African country first of all, and the places, the history and geography always mention that the natural expansion of Egypt is Africa, and although there is all this debate that Egypt has been away from the African scene for some time, I think since President Sisi took office and since his leadership to the EU, it's a very clear manifestation that Egypt is coming back, and it's here to stay, and is sincerely offering whatever potential, whatever experience they have to help and assist within the perception of partnership. African countries all together to achieve their sustainable development goals. So this is our aim and this is our task, and it's quite clear for us what to do and how we can implement this.
Now, this particular program is focused around the media and media experts, which obviously Egypt has brought together at least 20, 30 participants across Africa. Why the media, especially at this critical and crucial time?
Sure. I mean, no one can deny how important is the media in this world. Media is a great multiplier when it comes to eradicating and fighting the obstacles to development, increasing the awareness among community about development, about anti-corruption, about so many important issues. and also the understanding, closer understanding between different peoples of Africa. So we choose the media because we know how important is the role of the media, and we know how important is the relation between the media and development. So this was the theme of the program, and we tried to discover this kind of theme in different ways and different activities, and it's quite clear for us that the program had reconfirmed the importance of media in relation to development and sustainable development in Africa.
Now, this is a program that obviously Sierra Leone is very happy to be a part of. How can we have more of such collaborations in partnership with Egypt, and most importantly, the agency as a country, Sierra Leone?
Well, as I mentioned, this is not the end of the program. This is a starting point. This is a platform that will be very much in favor of keeping it and working into upgrading it with all the participants. The agency will definitely ask for all the suggestions and all the initiatives that we can carry on board and we can study and implement. So this is maybe a first gathering, but it is a platform that is very valuable for us, and we intend to make use of it to increase the interrelationship between media institutions in Africa, and we'll start seeing and finalizing the results and see what can be the next step. And as I told you, it's the relation. We are now convinced more and more that the role of media is very important. It has to be in parallel with the process of development. So we'll see how to make the best of use of it. There is a lot of ideas that has been floating in the discussions and the meetings. Definitely, there is quite a few is worth studying and maybe reporting this kind of discussion to some sort of a level of governments or something like that. So we are very much happy with the results, and we're very much happy with the interest of 28 African countries to send their media representatives to take part of the program.
Now, my final question is before letting you go. Now, Sierra Leone is trying to rebuild itself. It's had a really murky history and has been bedeviled with a number of catastrophes and disasters and conflicts over a period of time. Now, Egypt has a huge and rich history. It's come from a point where a couple of years back, one would question Egypt, but today clearly has a potential and propensity to become the next biggest economy in Africa and hopefully at some point the world. What can Sierra Leone learn from Egypt? How can Sierra Leone become the next Egypt in terms of its developmental strides and growth?
Well, I think I shouldn't put it in a way that learn from Egypt, but I think maybe I will share with you one or two thoughts that since Egypt, the second revolution in 2013, and with our President Sisi in his first term, I mean, this was a new chapter that had for the first time had two things, and this is something that's very important for any nation, I believe. It's the leadership and vision. So the leadership is there, and the vision, how to move the country, how to start dealing with the social problems and economic problems that has been never no one dared to come close to it, and how to tackle these problems in a way that would bring real recovery to the economy and the financial sector and to monetary even sector. So I believe that what we had from the first term of President Sisi is leadership and vision. So this might be the formula for, I don't want to name a country, but for any country to move forward to the future.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Well, this is of course on the spot, and I have been speaking to Ambassador Abdul Shaheen, and he is the Secretary General of the Egyptian Agency of Partnership for Development.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And thanks for having us here in Egypt.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, of course, I grabbed a quick one with him. He has to run, but we'll still continue. Of course, this is still on the spot, so stay tuned. We'll be back.
Setting up a business can be a headache, finding office space, buying furniture, printers and photocopiers, but if you're not ready for all that, BSI can help. BSI provides furnished and serviced office spaces for the short or medium term, whether it's for a day meeting, a conference or an immediate office rental for a few months. There are no long-term cost commitments and the offices are fully equipped with all your office needs. Or we can simply provide you with a prestigious business address thanks to one of our virtual offices. Find out more about BSI, your office away from the office. Go to bsisl.com or call 076 242 328.
In my final words, it's been 2 weeks of fun and learning. Learning in the beautiful city of Cairo in Egypt, the cradle of civilization. Now, one thing I've learned in Egypt is the love for state, the love for nation, the love for Egypt. A clear reminder to us Sierra Leoneans that no matter what our differences may be, no matter our political difference, no matter our political leaning, we must put Sierra Leone first if we are to develop, if we are to succeed, if we are to grow as a people and as a nation. Today, Egypt is poised to become one of the leading economies in the world in the near future. A sharp contrast to a couple of years ago or a couple of years before, where at some point in time, Sierra Leone had a better status. We can do it if we only decide that we will do it. It takes the concerted efforts of each and every one of us out there to make Sierra Leone great. We have the capacity, we have the potential, and we have the ability. All we need now is the unity and love for Mama Sierra Leone. Thank you so much for joining me in this special edition in Cairo. If you haven't visited Egypt, I implore you, make your next destination Egypt. It's beautiful, soaked and dripping in rich history that dates as far back as the 4th and 5th century. Now, of course, you can continue to engage with me by following me on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, and engage with us. Follow the conversation. We'd love to hear your thoughts and opinion. Until we'll be back again next week, continue to stay and remain fabulous. Take care.